I want to create a dialogue between you two, and I think the way I want to start is to play you a soundbite from the Iranian foreign minister who did an exclusive interview with Bret Baier on Fox this evening. Here he is talking about the Iran nuclear program. Play that, please.
Does Iran plan to reconstitute its enrichment program? Is it continuing now, or has the damage been so severe that it is all stopped?
It is now stopped because, yes, damages are serious and severe. But obviously, we cannot give up our enrichment because it is an achievement of our own scientists. And now, more than that, it is a question of national pride. Our enrichment is so dear to us. We are ready to engage into negotiation to make sure that our enrichment is only for peaceful purposes. We prefer a negotiated solution. Right. We are not ready to give up something which is now a matter of dignity for the Iranian people, a matter of national pride. Mm-hmm. So rest assured that we want to continue our enrichment, but of course we prefer a negotiated solution for that. I think that was proved that there is no military option to destroy our nuclear program. Yes, facilities have been destroyed. They are severely destroyed, but the technology is there. Our nuclear program, our enrichment program is not something imported from outside that can be destroyed by bombings. It is developed by ourselves. It is an achievement by ourselves. The technology is there. The scientists are there. The people who have run these facilities are there. Buildings can be rebuilt. Facilities can be rebuilt. Machines can be, replaced because the technology is there. I think the recent attack proved that there is no military option for our nuclear program. But I tell you, there is a negotiated solution for our nuclear program. We have done it once in the past. We are ready to do it once again.
All right, so Professor, a lot to pick up on there. Here's what I want to ask you first. The foreign minister says there is no military purpose for Iran's enrichment program. Do you believe that? And if so, what makes you believe it? If not, what makes you believe that?
Well, I believe it because the Iranians gave up transparency back in 2015 when they signed the JCPOA, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, which is the Iran nuclear deal. They basically opened up all Iran's nuclear infrastructure to IAEA inspections, and Iran's program became the most monitored program around the globe. But they, retreated some of their cooperation with the IAEA and ratcheted up their enrichment because of U.S. withdrawal from the JCPOA. And they said, we are ready to trade transparency once more for basically sanctions relief, which didn't happen. Instead of that, basically after rounds of negotiations, Iran was bombed. So I think I believe them when they say we are ready to trade transparency for sanctions relief, but that didn't, fly.
Right, but you also believe them when they say that the purpose of the enrichment is not military. You believe that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Without that, why would they basically give that much of transparency in the nuclear deal?
Okay. Behnam, I'd love for you to respond to that and then ask the professor whatever you'd like.
Sure. And first of all, greetings, Mark. Greetings, Professor. Greetings to the listeners and viewers. Great to be back with you. Listen, I would just say a couple of quick things about enrichment and the foreign minister's comments there on Fox just recently that you played. The first is that the Islamic Republic of Iran resurrected a nuclear program that it initially junked in the very early 1980s during a total war with its neighbor, Iraq. I'm sure the professor knows anyone who studies Iran's foreign and security policy over the past 46 years has to seriously consider the weight and the impact of the 1988 Iran-Iraq war, which again, as the professor knows, as someone who lives there, was very much a total war. In the middle of a total war, you don't go about creating science fair projects. The resurrection of the nuclear program back then and then into the late 80s, early 90s, the choice to go for enrichment, all of which was against this backdrop of a major 1980, 1988 war, which if you want to understand its impact, in American terms, it's like World War I, World War II, and the Vietnam War, all into one. So this regime is obsessed with deterrence because of the lessons of that war. Like most regimes, it is trying to survive, but it's trying to survive because it's promulgating an anti-American, anti-Israeli revolutionary message, trying to overturn the balance of power in the Middle East. Again, when it says death to America, it means it. When it says death to Israel, I believe it means it. It's put money, weight, national treasure, and much else behind those slogans over the past 4 decades. And I would just add this just to end. Which is, the Islamic Republic of Iran openly talks about in its press and officials that even the non-weaponized enrichment gives them military dividends. They talk about even just the enrichment capacity, where it is, how it is, the technical prowess they have as functioning as a form of deterrence for them. So even in the current state, the non-weaponized enriched uranium, they talk about having military dividends. So clearly, I would say there's a mismatch here, and I'd like to ask the professor if he sees the military utility of even this much enrichment. For example, Iran is the only country enriching to 60% purity that does not have nuclear naval propulsion, which is ostensibly one of the only needs for something enriched at this level.
All right, lots there, Professor. I'd love for you to engage on the last point and then anything else that was raised.
Well, I think basically a bit of context would be helpful here. The Iranians enriched to 20% and then 60% only after the United States pulled out of the nuclear deal. Before that, the IAEA's many announcements showed that Iran was basically observing its commitments. Now, there are lots of claims about the 90s, before 2003 specifically, by the United States, by Israel, and counterclaims by the Iranians. But the 2015 deal solved the PMD issue, which is a possible military dimension, suggesting that's part of the past, whatever happened. From now on, Iran will be observed, its program will be observed. Unfortunately, that didn't last because President Trump pulled out of it. And I think if that would have continued, the inspections would have been there in the country, in its facilities, and we wouldn't have been here where the country is attacked by Israel and the United States.
Want more great clips like that? I've got an idea. Hit the subscribe button, be part of the Two-Way community, never miss a clip, and you can always watch our full episodes, join them live, go to twoway.tv.